Barracooties versus Cern9. This is the round of 32. The round of 32, folks. And we'll be started off into our picks and bans phase. Persephone, Woojer, Heim, and Afro taken right on off the board. Pretty standard bans so far. These are what you expect to see at high level, ranked, and competitive. Woojer, Heim are a little bit specific, but definitely still in the realm of bannable. Discordia is interesting. Discordia has seen a massive increase in popularity lately. She got that buff to her ultimate, and she's become a much more powerful mid laner. Still kind of difficult to play, but much more powerful. Hell gets banned. Nobody wants to deal with heals, which leaves Thor wide open for the picking, and it will be the first pick of the tournament today, locking in that jungler. On the other side, guys, we do see on Cern9, Shwa, notably Shwa, one of the winners of last month's tournament, plays support, was the shot caller for the team, and we also did an interview with Shwa at the end. Shibalanke, Scylla locked in. Scylla, one of my favorite mid laners. Shibalanke, one of my favorite hunters to have on my teams right now. Her ultimate is detrimental in a team fight. So detrimental. Sylvanas, great support pick. Sylvanas auto wins the lane against everybody except for Sobek, who is still on the board, able to be picked. Thank you, Faru, for the 33 months. Pick is over now to Cuvo feed. What will he be looking at this time? They've got their jungler. They got their support. Yeah, the mid laner here is a strong pick. The enemy team already has a mid laner, so they were gonna ban him. Raijin locked in, easily a top 3 mid laner right now. Raijin's clear is insane, and he will have pressure over Scylla for quite a long time in the mid lane. Arthur gonna get locked in. You don't see quite as much Arthur as you used to, but he is still an immensely popular solo laner, particularly for maybe people that also aren't so comfortable in the solo. Pick Arthur, really hard to die. You kind of just AFK over in the solo lane, go for the even plays. Sobek, boom, banned right out. That's an interesting ban because I would have liked to see them pick Sobek into the Sylvanas. So it's interesting that they opted to ban the Sobek right there. Kuzumo taken off the board. They're banning out gods for Shwa right now. Shwa, if I had to guess, will be looking towards Nike. Nike support right now. Shwa likes a lot. That Kuzumo ban was absolutely oriented at Shwa. And Hunbat. Hunbat's recently got a big fat nerf to his ultimate, and he is still stupidly strong. So strong. They nerfed his passive, and they nerfed his ultimate, and yet he's still monkeying around and absolutely carrying games. So still a great ban. He is still banned at the highest levels of ranked as well. Nobody wants to deal with this ulti, even with the higher cooldown. Now that the build order is so commonly Jotun's Wrath, Erendite, you've got full CDR anyway. It's not nearly as noticeable as you would have hoped. Support pick still needed, as well as the jungler for Cern9 over here. They could try to pick something that could go in either role, something like a Nike, which we've seen run support and jungle. Could be a good flex pick right now. Definitely potential there for that. Is he a Smite player or is he a Smite player, folks? They lock in the Nike. Good flex pick. I would imagine they're leaning toward support for that, but they don't have to throw it in that support role. Does this man cast Smite? You're dang right he does. He knows what's happening. Hachi getting looked at right now. Very safe ADC. I like that. Hachi, a little bit of a lot of people consider Hachi kind of a more boring hunter, but a consistent hunter, very standard output. Pretty safe as well. Got a dash, got a CC immune ulti. That's also movement, very good. And AMA getting looked at here for the solo lane and locked in. AMA, an underrated god. In fact, one of the most underrated gods in Smite. AMA's one is, while not the most exciting ability in Smite, one of the singular best abilities in the game, just by the nature of the fact that it basically gives you a permanent heavenly agility, which is insane when you think about it. And finally, Pele locked in. That's going to be a jungle Pele. Not even Shwa is that crazy. So will be the Nike support, Scylla mid, Arthur solo. Excuse me, Arthur. Nike support, Arthur solo, Scylla mid, Shibalanga ADC, Pele jungle. Gosh. And then on the other side, we've got the more classic Sylvanas Hachi lane. We got Thor in the jungle, Ryzen mid, and AMA in the solo. All right, folks, you know what time it is. Based off the team comps, based off these players, who's going through the first game of the day? Are the boys in blue taking it, or Red Squad be taking it? Barracooties over on blue side, Cern9 over on Red Squad. Who's taking the first game of the day? Girl, it's Lukey Pookie and Vegeta. Let's get all of these oriented. Get our duo lane down here. Solos, jungles. All right. And so the match begins. Best of luck to everybody in the tournament series today. But only 8 teams will make it through to the quarterfinals, and the rest will fall to the wayside, attempting to achieve glory. Taking a look at our builds, we see that Scylla has started with Mage's Blessing compared to Ryzen, going immediately into the Chronos Pendant. Hunters with the Hunter's Blessing, Guardians with the Guardian's Blessing, Boots a little bit more standard, our Warriors with the Warrior's Blessing. We already see Shwa going right into that backline. They've got the clear with the Shibalanga, they've got the clear with the Nike. They're holding down the W key, they're already going in for Marsh. He got a creeping curse. Marsh might have the beads in order to live through this. It's gonna be so close. Will the Shibalanga Bola be able to do it in the backline? No! Marsh will just barely get out of that with his life. Doesn't use the beads, which means he gets to keep that cooldown up. That level 1 creeping curse almost taking the first blood within 1 minute of the start of this tournament. Good autos from Sandaddy coming out as well. In the mid lane, a little bit more passive. OVC did get that level 3. Ryzen, Thor will have a much better fight here in the early game than the Scylla and Pele will. So they need to be a little bit careful. They're going to get out cleared. Ryzen basically already full clears the wave with his 2-1. So they need to be very careful about their positioning. Otherwise, they could find themselves in a lot of trouble very quickly. But nobody dying. Nobody giving up any waves. The game remains even though there was a little bit of that Hachi scare over in the duo lane. And this scare is going to continue because you know Shwa and Sand aren't going to let up over here. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, to see Shwa start to jump in and start to use that shield to try to knock backwards and get people out of position. Once again, aggressing over the duo lane. Sand actually dashing in. Needs to be a little bit careful. He could actually find himself in trouble. If he gets, like, pulled into this tower, woo! Good fight back there from Marsh. There's actually a possible rotation from Cuvo feed. That Shibalanga dash is going to be down for like another 8 seconds. He might be able to get in here before this cooldown comes back up. Countering the aggression from SWAT over here. They knew they were going to be playing so far forward. Look at the bait coming out from Sylvanas right now. They know they're coming. Hachi dashes in. That's a Thor rotation. That's a spin to win. And first blood will go to the Barracooties jungler. Good positioning right there, knowing how aggressive this duo lane was going to be. Smart plays right there. Good rotation. And that's going to be the first blood of the tournament. And you know how you feel when Thor and the other team get to first blood? It feels bad. You do not love to see that. As our builds continue, we can see that Raijin is opting to go for his boots first. More aggression over in the duo lane. The shell comes back out. The creeping curse is out. That's going to be a dead Sylvanas right there. Schwa and Sand not content to get ganked. But look at the rotation once again. The double rotation. Raijin is level 5. That's going to be a dead Nike. Shibalaga needs to be careful. That's his dash down now. If Thor can get in range of the stun, he's going to be able to. Walls him off. Another rotation from Barracooties to the dual lane. Gets them another 2 kills. Great return there. Support for both of them. That's a good trade. Ovisi actually going to stay over here and grab another wave to make sure he doesn't fall behind in the XP as well. He is now level 6. Scylla level 6. There is a big wave in the mid lane that nobody's getting credit for. This is the benefit of not rotating. All of these creeps right here, poof. Nobody's getting credit for a wave and a half in the mid lane. That's a lot of XP they just missed out on. So even though they've got 2 kills in the first blood, they're only up like 400 gold, partially because of how many creeps they just missed in the mid lane. They could have been up northward of like 800-ish gold if that wouldn't have happened. Look at the aggression, not to be slowed down at all. The Nike slow, the Shibalaga just barely won't get the kill, but they're going to keep playing aggressive here on the Sylvanas. I don't know if they're going to be able to get him unless the Nike 1 comes back up in time for it. No, it'll not. But not scared. Speaking of not scared, oh my goodness, the kill is acquired. Support for ADC underneath the tower. Taking the 1-for-1 trade. That's actually a great trade, because now that Hachi will miss out on all of this XP, and Shibalaga will be able to take it by himself, hopefully getting him an XP advantage over that Hachi man. Really not much aggression around the map outside of the duo lane. The duo lane is where we're seeing all of these fights break out. To be fair, this was kind of expected. That's where we thought the action might just turn out this game. The rest of the board, our solo laners have their defensive shields. AMA going to go with the Berserkers for the attack speed sustain. So we might see a little bit heavier attack speed build coming out from Tavi. Maybe some attack speed boots, maybe a frostbound hammer, maybe rocking one of those more slow-oriented builds. Almost got the interrupt on the Raijin dash right there. If it would have been just a little bit closer, that shield would have interrupted that. Pele looking around the backside. I mean, the Raijin dash is down. There is potential there. They force the Raijin ulti. The Scylla ulti lands and connects and does a bunch of damage, but too deep in the tower for them to follow up on it right now. Great Scylla ulti, though, coming out. Damage numbers here at the start of the game. Shibalaga and Nike up at the very top. That's what you would expect from a duo lane playing that aggressive. Also, Arthur really high up there in the damage charts. He's putting the beat down over there with those AoE abilities on AMA. But as you can see, AMA cares a whole bunch about that. Absolutely terrified. That's a good Shibalaga ult, preventing them from getting any more damage on the Nike. Thor has to ulti out, leaving Sylvanas all by his lonesome. So Scylla will take an easy crush kill. Thor can't land back in on it. They've still got 3 members there. Good pick off from Cern9, rotating together. That 3-man rotation is what you like to see around this point of the game at high-level gameplay. You want to see them moving with each other, looking for those 3v3 fights, looking for pick-offs. Huge Nike jump combo with the crush right there. Even a little barrier knockback interrupting the dash. Not going to be enough to get a kill, but smart play right there, putting the pressure on him. God, solo lane. I don't know how y'all boys do it. Yeah, that's right. You use that ulti on creeps. That's right. You wreck those creeps. They'll never see what's coming. Oh, yeah. That's right. Hit him. Full heal off an auto attack. Solo. Solo. Might have a little fight breaking out in duo. Marsh just kind of sitting here trying to get the last hit. Ooh, look at the damage coming out from his banner right there. He's thinking about the ulti. He uses it, but unfortunately, Xbalanque already behind the wall. So he's not going to be able to connect on that ultimate. Hachi, one of the few ultimates in Smite that like can be body blocked by walls. Once it fires, it's not a homing missile like a Neathal. It's actually a projectile that does get interrupted by anything from a Ymir wall to a regular wall to Terra 3. Doesn't matter. Anything that gets in its way will stop that projectile. It's a very uniquely working ultimate. Still with these 3-man rotations, though, is Cern9. They're just running around the map with each other. 24K to 24K at the 8-minute marker, 4-3. This game is dead even right now. Great start in the round of 32. I think we ended up with like 28 total teams signed up for this tournament. I do believe we ended up having over 200 signups. So once you factor in all the teams and all their subs, it was our biggest tournament sign up yet. Look at the Scylla pressure right here. She just wanted to put out the ward. If she would have had that ward down earlier, she could have had a huge combo right there. Now, they do have a Sylvanas on their team, so they have healing. I'd like to see Cern9 grab anti-healing sooner than later. Hachi finds himself in a hard spot, but his ultimate comes just back up in time for him in order to get him out of this. And it looks like the counter rotation is on its way. Thor does not connect on the ulti, but he does connect on the wall. The hammer, the 3 forces the Xbalanque beads, but not going to be able to take his life. Good beads force, though. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Grab the actives as you can. The Sylvanas heals will get very problematic very fast. I would have to imagine that Cheese is going to look for probably a Thebes and then a Lotus Crown. Lotus Crown, so good on Sylvanas. Just Wisps plus Lotus Crown is a disgusting amount of protections given out to your team. That's not even including the aura for your team from Thebes. Very easily giving out 50 plus protections each, physical and magical, to each member of your team on that Wisp proc. I do believe Wisp itself, I think, is 30, Lotus Crown is 20, and Thebes is 10, so that would be 60 with all of that together. Each 120 total protections per person on your team, 600 protections potentially right in the middle of a fight is kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. And there's no counter to that other than just generic pen. You can build as many Divine Ruins as you want to counter the actual healing aspect. It does not counter the armor aspect of that ability. Very, very strong for team fights. And we don't see any anti-heal coming out yet. No Divines, no Brawlers, no nothing. Ooh, Lukey Pookie getting a kill over in the solo lane. Good little rotation. They might keep fighting actually underneath that tower, but we're going to follow Raijin right here as he's getting engaged on as well. Sylvanas going to be able to walk away, diving underneath this tower all the way through. You can see that action over there. Got ourselves some jungler rotations over to the solo, and that will be in favor of Cern9. The Arthur Pele going to take that for themselves. Slight XP leads right now for Cern9 as well. Looking across the board, they got 1 in solo. They've got 1 in the jungle. They've also got 1 in the support. So a 3-level lead for that team. Scylla just got herself a level lead as well. So now it's actually 4 unless Raijin catches up right there. He doesn't until the fight is going to break out while they've got this lead. Poor Sylvanas is very stuck. He has to ulti to try to get out of it. Scylla will connect, but the Thor gonna rain down from the heavens. Will he land? Yes! He'll connect 2 with the spin to win. 1 HP on both of them. The wall, not quite enough. The hammer's gonna miss, and they're still running away. No! Schwa misses the jump, though. The blink comes out from Cuvo Feed, but he's still not in range of the kill. He has to back it up and go get the Scylla, and now there's 4 members of Barracooties here, and Schwa will go down as well. 2 for 0 trade for Barracooties. They've got a Sylvanas for heals. They've got 4 members, and this Gold Fury is looking mighty tasty if I'm them right now. They're down about 1,000 gold. It would be nice to get that 1,000 gold right back, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. And so they're going to head right on over and grab themselves that Gold Fury. Look at that gold XP spike. Whoop, whoop, whoopity, whoop, whoop. Going from starting to lose this game steadily to right back even in the gold, only down 1,500 XP. And this game is once again even here at the 13-minute marker. Good plays from Barracooties all around right there. Thor missed quite a bit of abilities there at the end, but he still did connect on the kills and the damage that he needed in order to give his team the Gold Fury. Sometimes you don't have to do the maximum, you just have to do enough. Hachi looks like he is going to be going a Blood Forge. I can't imagine that he wouldn't have his Devo gloves online by this point. So that I have just got to imagine that's going to be a Blood Forge on him. Xbalanque went for the Transcendence. It was. He grabbed a Blood Forge. He had so much cash, he grabbed a Blood Forge and a tier 2 Balanced Blade. The Xbalanque ulti comes out. Looks like possibly they thought they were going to engage in the mid lane and then didn't do it. The Ryzen dash is down for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hachi will have a pretty good sustained advantage over the Xbalanque over in dual lane right now, but he does have his tier 1 tower down. Xbalanque has taken that away from him. Nike with the Thebes, Sylvanas with the Thebes. You can see Sylvanas going into that Lotus Crown next. We knew they would go into it. There's no reason not to go Lotus Crown on Sylvanas. It is his best item for him to build, and I do like it as a third item after the Thebes. That way you can get your Thebes stacked early, give yourself those protections, and then go ahead and give your team more protections as the team fights start to break out more. Some pretty good damage coming out from Arthur over in the solo lane now at this point. This is becoming more than just fake solo lane poke damage. This is actually starting to be impactful. If he can keep getting him low enough, too, it's going to give the Pele opportunities to rotate over to this lane, especially if AMA tries to dash away and accidentally gets body blocked by the Arthur. We can see the Pele rotating over here. This is what we're talking about. He might just be low enough. His dash was down. No, not going to be able to get there. AMA just too dang fast. Ryzen dashed over the wall. Schwa probably heard that. She wards over, trying to take a look at this. There might be an aggressive play here. Schwa with no cares in the world, just running right through their team. Brawler's B-Stick is out on Pele for some anti-heal. Still really the only anti-heal item we see. They don't need a Curse Donk or anything. I wouldn't expect to see that. That wouldn't be a horrible active here, but it's not necessary. It's going to be the Blink coming out from Nike instead for the initiations. But I would like to see one more potential anti-heal item, probably a Divine Ruin from the Scylla. Scylla went into the Doom Orb cooldown boots. This could be the Divine Ruin right here. It could also be a Spear of Desolation. So we'll see what she opts to build later in this game. Thebe stack's almost done on Sylvanas. Has a little bit of a stack advantage right now over Nike. Nike did go Sovereignty for that big fat HP 5. Gonna be a lot of HP 5 between Gauntlet of Thebes and Sovereignty passive. Lots and lots of regen, plus all those shields. Gold Fairy spawning in just a couple of minutes now as they look to make a quick rotation over to Hachi, but he gets the call out. He's not going to get caught out in that lane. Runs back into the tier 2 tower. Good communication from his team. 16 minutes, 42k to 43k. Basically dead even. This fight could give somebody the lead. Thor is up in the air. Ryzen had 2 beads during that, and Pele's here in the back line. Pele immediately going to take out Ryzen. Sylvanas by the hair of his chinny chin grabs the Pele in range of that ulti. Hachi ultis all the way over. Xbalanque dashes down. Now Schwa fighting between the tier 1, tier 2 tower. Scylla comes on around, doesn't connect on the route, and they're opting to go right now for the Xbalanque. Great pull from Sylvanas. Scylla ultimate not going to connect right now. They're trying to get damage onto Schwa in the backline with the AMA, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill. Xbalanque goes down in the right side jungle to the Thor chasing, and right now this fight is in favor of Barracooties. 1-4-2 trade. Pele grabbed the early kill onto the Ryzen, but they didn't lose anybody after that. No, Sylvanas going to get the Jade Emperor's crown. He did not go into the Lotus. Very interesting choice right here. They do have 4 physicals on their team, Arthur, Pele, Nike, Xbalanque, their only magical damage is a Scylla. So I don't hate the idea of the Jade Emperor's Crown. I still think I would have preferred the Lotus Crown first, and then the Jade Emperor's. But I don't hate this decision as long as he next goes into the Lotus Crown. As long as that next item is the Lotus Crown, I actually don't hate that decision making. Speaking of decision making, Scylla did go the Spear of Desolation, not the Divine Ruin. So their only anti-heal still is going to be that Brawler's Beat Stick. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Pele to be applying this anti-heal to everybody right now. That Sylvanus healing, more powerful than you think, especially from a sustained perspective. Xbalanque ulting for his team right now as he continues to go shove in the duo lane. Right now, Thor, 5-1. Looking at those damage numbers, though, Arthur at 13k. Lots of that still, that 1v1 solo lane damage. But that is going to be a good example of the damage that he can be outputting for his team, even though the general damage of Cern9 is so much higher. Thor only at 7k, the highest for his team. Still a 3-kill lead right now for Barracooties. Ooh, good rotation. Over in the dual lane, once again, Thor rotating over and getting a kill for his team. They're going to put down that Xbalanque. Tier 2 tower, though, is quite low. Tier 1 tower hasn't even been touched for Barracooties, but the Gold Fury will get started up once again. Already down to half HP. Couple members here for Cern9. They're going to try to zone it out. Schwa's trying to get the damage in the backline. They do reset the Gold Fury. Scylla ulti comes in, doesn't connect on anybody, unfortunately. Now Scylla might be in trouble. Huge damage from Ryzen coming out onto Scylla, and she will get instantly put down. All 5 members of Barracooties are here. Sylvanus throws down the ulti, not going to get too much connection. AMA is not going to get too much connection on that either, but actually decent damage. Look at the complete zoning from Schwa right now in the backline. Had 4 members getting zoned out by the shield, and Vegeta is here, a level 18 Arthur. That man is going to be hard to kill. He's going to get off a lot of AoE damage in that fight. He's got the Gladiator shield. He's got the sustain. We've got members of Cern9 respawning and coming on back, and they just can't quite kill the front line. Ovisi opting to dash in. That's going to cost him his life right there. Gets a lot of damage onto the Pele, but not enough to get the kill. And they just cannot put down the Nike. They can't put down the Arthur. Look at these front line boys and girls holding down the line. Marsh uses the Aegis. He lives, but will he be able to get all the way out of this? He will not. The Xbalanque dash will pick him up in the back line in what looked like a great fight for Barracooties. Ends up being a win for Cern9, courtesy of Nike and Arthur being a big, fat 2-man death squad holding down the line and keeping them off of the Gold Fury until the respawns could come back. My goodness. My goodness. Great plays right there. Absolutely great plays. And that will give Cern9 the first kind of lead of the game. If we go ahead down here, look at the graphs, you can see they got a 4,000 XP lead, 2,000 gold lead. At the 21-minute marker, this has a little impact on the game, but in the grand scheme of things, it's basically nothing at the 22-minute marker. Game is still very, very even. That's like a couple level differences and maybe an extra tier 1, tier 2 item. Not much at all. That's basically getting a couple of extra wards out. So this is still anybody's game right now. Hey, look it. It's a Schwa. What's Schwa doing? You know, diving in. Diving right on through. Xbalanque ulti comes out as they're trying to zone. We see Thor over in the right-hand side jungle trying to deal with an Arthur. And Sylvanus gonna get Scylla ultied, and that will be enough to put him down. AMA gonna get caught out now. Her ulti is already down, and this is looking like Cern9 might take this fight, but no, they couldn't kill the AMA. Huge Ryzen and Thor ulti. Beats comes out from Thor to keep him alive. Ryzen dashes back in and does not collect the kills, though. And Vegeta in the backline grabs 2. Nike's coming back into the fight, jumps in. That's a triple kill for the solo laner, and this could be the game. 12 seconds on Sylvanas, 30 seconds on everybody else. What was just an incredibly close game. They've got a wave. They've got 5 members. That's it. A 22-minute game that was neck and neck goes to a 23-minute end, courtesy of a triple kill from Arthur. Great plays coming out from Cern9 there. That was a dead even team fight that they won so hard that they could just straight take the game. Wow. Really, really incredible plays right there. If we go look at those damage numbers, man, 13,000 coming out from Nike support, 18 on the Arthur, 13 on Sand. All three of those members doing more than any individual on Barracooties, which will help lead them to victory in their first match. Really, really good play.